Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'm writing this because something extremely strange happened to me when I was 15. I live in a small town in Oregon, and even though this happened years ago, my family still avoids talking about it. At the time, I lived with my parents and my older brother in a quiet neighborhood. There were only about a dozen houses on our street, all two-story homes built the same way. Behind our house, and a few others, was a stretch of thick woods that locals rarely entered. It was late fall, and the mornings were cold and foggy. One morning, I woke up to the sound of my mom and brother talking loudly in the kitchen. I didn't think much of it. I was brushing my teeth and getting ready for school when my brother suddenly walked into my room and said, half joking, "Do you want to see something creepy?" Confused, I followed him to my parents' bedroom. He pointed out the window. Standing across the street, right at the edge of the road, was a man. He was tall and thin, wearing a long dark coat and a hood pulled over his head. The fog made it hard to see his face clearly. What immediately unsettled me was the way he stood completely still. No shifting, no pacing, no looking around. He was staring straight into the woods. My mom whispered that she had never seen him before, and she was clearly nervous. I assumed maybe he was waiting for someone or had car trouble. We watched him for almost 10 minutes. He never moved. Eventually, we went back to getting ready. My dad drove me to school that morning, and as we passed the man, I looked at him more closely. I could only see his eyes beneath the hood, and when they met mine, I felt my stomach drop. There was something wrong with his expression. I couldn't see his mouth clearly, but I knew he was smiling. It felt like he was smiling at me, or maybe at something behind me. I tried to forget about it during school, but when I got home that afternoon around 3:30 p.m., the man was still there. Same posture. Still staring into the woods. The thought of him standing there for hours in the cold without moving made my skin crawl. This time, I only saw his back as we drove past. I remember wondering if he was still smiling. That night, my dad came home late and told my mom he had seen the man too. He even walked over and asked if he needed help. The man didn't respond. Didn't turn around. Didn't acknowledge him. Didn't move at all. Before bed, my dad told us to lock every door and window. He never did that before. I checked one last time before going to sleep. The man was still there. The next morning, while eating breakfast, I suddenly remembered him and rushed to the window. He was gone. No footprints. No sign he had ever been there. We never saw him again. A few weeks later, police searched the woods behind our neighborhood after hikers reported finding scattered clothing deep inside, along with a wallet that belonged to a man who had been reported missing months earlier. No body was ever found. To this day, I still wonder, was he watching the woods? Or was he waiting for something to come out? Some people believe unexplained sightings are coincidences. Others believe they're warnings. All I know is this. Whenever I pass those woods, I never look too long, because I'm afraid something might still be watching back.